All right, today we're going to uncover a hidden superpower that's already inside your body. Seriously, it's a muscle that every single one of us has, but honestly, very few of us really get just how powerful it is. So, let's dive in. So let me start by asking you a question. If you're a singer, a speaker, or hey, just someone who talks every day, what's the single most important muscle for your voice? Go on, take a guess. I bet an answer pops into your head right away.
But it's probably not what you're thinking. It's not your tongue, or your lips, or even your vocal cords. Nope. The real powerhouse, the secret engine behind a really strong, steady voice, is your diaphragm. And that is exactly what we're going to break down.
So first things first, let's get to know this hidden muscle. It's a hugely important part of our anatomy that just does its job so automatically, most of us go our whole lives without ever really giving it a second thought.
So what is it? Well, to put it simply, the diaphragm is the main muscle you use for breathing. It's this big, dome-shaped muscle that sits right below your lungs, kind of separating your chest from your abdomen. And its job is, well, it's about as fundamental as it gets.
And that leads perfectly into our next point, the engine of breath. I love thinking of it that way because that's exactly what it is. It's the motor that drives our most essential life-sustaining process. And you really can't overstate how critical this engine is. If the diaphragm isn't working the way it should, the entire system just struggles. Something as simple as taking a breath suddenly becomes really hard work. That's just how central it is.
You know, the mechanics of it are actually pretty beautiful. Breathing is this simple two-part process, and it's all powered by the diaphragm's movement. When you breathe in, it contracts and lowers, which creates space and pulls air into your lungs. And when you breathe out, it just relaxes and rises back up, helping to push the air out. It's this constant rhythmic dance that literally keeps us alive.
But breathing isn't just about survival, right? And this brings us to something really cool, the singer's secret. This is where we shift from thinking about an automatic bodily function to a powerful, controllable tool for performance.
For any vocalist, I don't care if you're a pop star or an opera singer, this is everything. Mastering the diaphragm is the key to mastering breath control. It really is the difference between just singing the notes and truly commanding them.
See, by learning how to use this muscle for deep, controlled breathing, singers unlock three incredible benefits. Their voice becomes way more stable, no wavering. It becomes longer lasting, so they can hold notes for what feels like forever. And finally, it becomes more powerful, projecting out with this amazing richness and strength. Okay, this all sounds great, but it kind of leads to a fascinating paradox, which we're going to explore right now, guiding the involuntary. How can you learn to use a muscle that you don't consciously control in the first place?
And that's the big question, isn't it? Can you really control it? I mean, you don't tell your diaphragm to breathe when you're sleeping, so how can you all of a sudden tell it what to do when you want to sing?
The biological answer is pretty clear. The diaphragm is an involuntary muscle. Just like your heart, it works automatically without you having to think about it. So the short answer is no, you don't control it. Not directly anyway. But here's the secret. This is the good part. While you can't command the diaphragm directly, you can absolutely learn to guide it. By using muscles you can control, like the ones in your belly and your chest, you can influence the diaphragm's movement. You're encouraging it to take deeper, more supported breaths. It's an indirect technique, but man, is it effective. Okay, we've covered how it works and how to use it. For our final section, I've got one more surprising fact that I think really puts the diaphragm's importance into perspective. This is amazing. Your heart, that other essential life-giving engine, literally sits right on top of the diaphragm. They're physically connected by this thin tissue. So they are direct neighbors working together at the very core of your body.
And this is just the perfect way to visualize it. The diaphragm is the floor for your heart and your lungs, and it's the ceiling for all your abdominal organs. It is the central partition of your entire torso.
So you have this incredible, powerful engine inside you, working every moment of every day. It powers your life, and it holds the potential to power your voice. Now that you know it's there, how are you going to use it?